Hi guys, my name is Dylan and today let's check out Mont Kiara, the one that you all have been waiting for. Let's go! Okay, so before we start looking at walking around Mont Kiara, let's look at the map first, alright? So Mont Kiara is actually from this stretch to the other stretch. Okay, so from the map it may look a bit confusing, but let's zoom in deeper. Okay, this is the main road to turn into Jalan Kiara. Alright, so Jalan Kiara is actually the main area, lah, in my opinion, for Mont Kiara, where you have one Mont Kiara over here, Plaza Mont Kiara, and Retail Park 163, and then further down, it will be some of the residential condos. Then, right down here, you can turn right, so you'll be reaching Solaris. So Solaris, it's something like a commercial area, somewhat like Sri Petaling, but then it's a very Korean theme location. Alright, so every jalan in Mont Kiara has its own characteristics. Right, for example, this one it will be the most bustling one, and then for Jalan Kiara 3 will be this one. Okay, so the reason why I emphasize a lot on this one is because there are a lot of developments here. Previously, all of these condos are, I would say, rather maybe built around 10 years ago. Okay, but further down here, it's mostly new, and then it connects you actually to Segambut Dalam, which is above, right? So the road here and the pedestrian friendliness here will be a question because there are a lot of cars going in and out, and previously it was not really catered for such heavy traffic. And one interesting thing is this road here, as you can see, okay, it's actually not connected for now, but we will see later if it's connected. If it's connected, you can connect, it will connect you directly to Solaris Mont Kiara. Alright? And then for the other part, which is the lesser dense one, as you can see, is mostly greeneries. And this is what we call Jalan Desa Kiara. And then this will be the landed properties over here. Alright, let's check out Mont Kiara. Let's go. Okay guys, so the first stop we are at, right, it's this part of Mont Kiara where everyone is saying Mont Kiara is very high dense, very congested, right? But seldom people do notice about Jalan Desa Kiara, which is like the upward slope up towards another area, which there are a lot of big condominiums and even all these majestic landeds over here. Not too sure if you can see, but you can see from a drone shot as well. Alright, so from this part of Mont Kiara, then it's considered as the more serene part. As you can see, opposite of me here, this will be Indah Water and Water Pump. But after that, behind, right, that will be the forest reserve of Mont Kiara, right? And then this will be the landed that I think seldom people notice about it. Wow, it's extremely nice, this landed. It's really nice. Unfortunately, I don't get to go in, but let's continue walking around. Wow, see the water fountain. I believe, right, a lot of these high-end developments, right, they focus a lot on feng shui. So this feng shui thing, right, I think it revolves around water and mountain a lot. Yeah, so that's something very interesting. But look at the design of the house. So nice. So then Jalan Desa Kiara leads up to Jalan Kiara 7 and 8. Okay, in total of Mont Kiara, right, normally I'll just make it into like 8 jalans, 8 main road lah. Jalan Kiara, alright. Then you have Jalan Kiara, there you have Jalan, which is the 163 and the 1 Mont Kiara area. Okay, there you have Jalan Kiara 1 and 2, which is like the junction towards Mont Kiara. Then you have the typical Jalan Kiara 3 and 4. 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so Jalan 3, 4 and 5 is more special in the sense that 3 and 4, it's connected towards Segambut area. Okay, so Jalan Kiara 3, right, basically is the one that leads us to Segambut. So that whole stretch of property and the dynamics over at Jalan Kiara versus at Jalan Kiara 7 and 8 over here, it's totally different. Alright, so every part of Mont Kiara has its own, I would say, own dynamic. So now we are at this, I would say, the first part that I visit will be Jalan Desa Kiara, Jalan Kiara 7 and 8, where I'm at the landed area now, trying to walk over to the other side. So we'll see how it goes. Let's go. And so far, right, first thing, I can quite confirm that this is a rather new development, a new landed area. Okay, so we can see, right, over here, it's still very barren land, still very empty land. And of course, newer townships has a more proper pedestrian walkway catered or built. You can see down there, I think it's empty for now. And I believe there will be more developments coming up over here. I believe so. And one thing that I noticed about this area, right, it's purely residential. So being purely residential, it means it's very comfortable to stay in, right? But then there is no commercial element over here. Okay, first of all, this part, it's the greenery side of Mont Kiara, but no commercial elements, no office whatsoever. So for those who prefer to stay near a bustling area, then this is not really suitable for you all lah. So as mentioned, this is Jalan Kiara 8, and coming from that direction, right, which is from Jalan Desa Kiara, then you go straight down here, it will be a dead end at the end there. So I'm not too sure will there be any further developments down there. I'm pretty sure it will, considering how expensive the land over here in Mont Kiara. But then just look at the landscape of the properties here. It's really very nice. And then over the other side will then be the mountains of condos over there. But all of them are actually very big size. Not too sure if you can see from the camera, but it's mainly duplexes and a lot of big size unit over in Mont Kiara. And today's weather is really extremely hot. So let's move on to the next location, which is the one that is at Jalan Kiara 3. So we'll see the total different dynamics over there. Let's go. Okay, so now we are at the dead end of Jalan Kiara 8. As you can see, it's really like, it's definitely not Mont Kiara to be honest. If you just look at this scene, right, it doesn't look like Mont Kiara. It looks like somewhere, further, not in KL. So it's really very strange to see this site in Mont Kiara. It seems like a forest reserve. It is a forest reserve. So you can see like there is maybe some of the hiking trails over there. Wow, it's very different. So as you can see, moving forward from this landed over there, coming out from here, there is one development that I just now didn't notice. It's over here. And this road actually connects us down to Mont Kiara over there, the other side of Mont Kiara. And I saw while driving, there are a lot of lands for sale there and it's freehold. So then I'm actually quite sure that a lot of developers will be coming over here to develop. Because overall at the other side of Mont Kiara, it's really jam-packed already. So let's head on to the Jalan Kiara 3 to check out first. Let's go. If you come back in my life, be there till the end of time. Okay, so now we are at Jalan Kiara 5 before dropping over to Jalan Kiara 3, right? Jalan Kiara 5 belongs to I would consider it one part nearer to Jalan Kiara 3 because this linkage will be Gardens International School, another entrance if not mistaken. It will be linking over to Jalan Kiara 5 right? And then this will be the iconic Verve Suite. It's actually one of the founders of Mont Kiara who did this. As you can see, right, the pedestrian friendliness over here in Mont Kiara is really very much emphasized, and just a street away from earlier to this not so congested road already, you can see the traffic. The double parking, it's already happening. Heading down there will then be dead end. So overall here are mainly just all condominiums, all high rises, and pedestrian friendliness is really no joke for Mont Kiara. And that's one thing that I like and that I always emphasize as well because I walk a lot. But I can't walk just now from earlier there because it's too hot. So these Verve shops, right, it's actually above, it's actually all those condominiums, some of the suites, apartments. They are actually the first, if not mistaken, to build smaller size apartments in Mont Kiara. So it's very special for them, and below there will directly be shop lots where you have some Jaya grocers over there and some mama stalls and everything. And if you were to notice, right, I believe they're actually expanding the pathway. You see, they're expanding the pathway. So over here, for clearer understanding, this will be the ground floor. You have some Japanese food, superfood, some of the normal bakery, pharmacies, and some drinking place. Definitely have coffee shop, dentist. So like actually literally you have what do you want? Everything here also got. So no worries about it. Whew. Okay, so it's very difficult to find a car park here. Luckily, I parked at one of the Global Doctors Hospital's car park. And then, let's start walking around here. It's really difficult to walk, you see. Well, just look at the traffic over here. And now, it's not yet after school. When Gardens International School, it's, it's after their class time, right? Here will be definitely jammed. And then this is the earlier part of Jalan Kiara 3. And then the pedestrian friendliness is still good, it's just that it's a bit small, but the road is actually already it's not wide to begin with. So yeah, that's something to take note. Oh yeah, something I noticed as well, earlier I said that at Jalan Kiara 5 there is another branch. No, it's not another branch, it's another entrance, or it's actually attached to it according to the guard. So just a quick update on that. And then Gardens International School is, for me, I think I'm not too sure, but I think it's considered as one of the most expensive tuition fees international school in KL. I think so, because I heard from a few of my friends, it's one of them that is most expensive. So I believe the community here will be very happy with this school, as well as the students here as well, because from the looks of it, it's very nice, the facilities. Let's have a look. So over there will be the entrance from the main road of Mont Kiara, the junction where you turn in. So this is the top part of Jalan Kiara 3, where everything seems very nice, very pleasant, right? But we will check out the later part, the end part of Jalan Kiara 3 later. Okay, so we have now, opposite the school over there, there is this Vista Kiara. I think it's condo inside. Definitely it's a condo inside. Okay, but outside here there will be some of the coffee shops, some of the hair salons over there. So yeah, everything here is really quite nice to stay in. Okay guys, so do forgive me if I'm a bit panting and I cannot speak much because I'm actually still recovering from my sick, but it's actually the 5th day, I'm not too sure. Having fever and some sore throat and some cough as well. So do bear with me with that, on that. So I apologize beforehand. So let's check out the end part of Jalan Kiara 3. Let's go. Okay, so far I noticed about this Mont Kiara, right? I just walked around Jalan Kiara 8, Jalan Kiara 5 and 3. These 3 locations, right? It's really well maintained, considering that Mont Kiara is not exactly a very new address. It has been here for some time. And the condos, the age of the condominiums, the service apartment over here has been easily around 10 years plus. So for a lot of other places, right, when the condos is more than 10 years, the maintenance of the building facade will not be that good. But as you can see, right, it's actually very well maintained for a lot of the condos. Most of them, and this one is still under construction, right? Even the school is also very well maintained. So I think, first of all, right, it's very important to have a very strong community. And aside from a strong community, I think paying maintenance fees is very important. A lot of people say, why should I pay maintenance fee? I don't use the facilities. But paying maintenance fees is also taking care of your building facade. And by that, it also means that if your building image looks good, looks promising, right? Do you think that people, if you want to sell, right, would you think they will consider you if it's not good? Definitely your first impression is very important. So my advice is it's a must to pay your maintenance fees lah. This was the place that I parked. If y'all need to hang out at Jalan Kiara 3, do park over here. I think it's quite easy to find the parking. I think this condo, right, it's a very good justification. Look at it, I think it's quite old from just judging from the building facade and everything, right, the one beside. It's very well maintained. The paint is still intact, which means they just refurbished it not long ago, definitely. Just looking at the grills of the condominium, right, you can know that it's actually very old. Kudos to the owners who actually take good care of their own condos. Okay guys, earlier on I said that this condo is under construction, right? But it seems like it's abandoned. Looking at there are so many, plants that are not being cleared. It's quite impossible for a construction site to have these kind of things happening. So I think it's an abandoned in Mont Kiara. Wow. It's very rare to see because the land is so expensive over here. Do let me know in the comment section below if that is abandoned, right? So it's quite a pity because yeah, we are in the middle of Jalan Kiara 3 now. So I think it's still quite strategic because Jalan Kiara 3, right, if you were to drive down to the Skambut Dalam road, right, you will be it will be connecting you to KL Metropolis, Dutamas, and Jalan Kuching, of course, Skambut as well. So it's actually quite a busy road, as you can see. So yeah, and now, if you realize the road is becoming narrower and narrower. From earlier on when the road is wide, keeps narrowing. Then suddenly, right, at Jalan Kiara 3, suddenly all these high rises, all these this few million worth of condos over here. Then you have this rumah setinggan just right beside those quarters over here. I believe it's for the workers, or is it for the locals? Yeah, it's definitely for the locals who are staying. So it's a rather rare sight to see, where this is the reason why I want to explore. From the Google map itself, you can see high rises, but then sandwiched in between it will be a rumah setinggan. So I'm not too sure if they'll be buying over or demolishing it or what, but let's see how it goes for the people over here because it's their home anyway. So we must take good care of them as well. Okay, now just now I was walking, right, with pedestrian walkway. Suddenly there is no pedestrian walkway. So I have to see my way to walk over there. So this is the thing about Jalan Kiara 3 where it's half complete but the other half is not completed. Oh, here you have more rumah setinggan. Some of the locals are actually staying here. So it's a rare sight where you still have landed properties in such a high density of Mont Kiara. So I actually wonder sometimes, right, how do the locals here, how can they withstand so many condominiums just popping up? Not just aside of the traffic congestion, right, but the sound pollution for, I think, easily more than 8 years. Because condominiums over here just keep popping up. One complete, then the other one going to launch soon. So yeah, such a pity for them, It's quite pitiful in the sense that everything is just construction site again and again over here. Yeah, and the road is really very narrow. And now suddenly I have a pedestrian pathway again. And then I don't have again. So yeah, I think, but they're still building a proper one lah. So yeah, I'm walking further down to let you guys check out one thing. So let's see. Another development popping up further in Jalan Kiara 3. Wow, it's really massive. And this is another landed houses as well. But this is a proper one and it's a very expensive one. Okay, this is the thing that I want to show you. Just now I walked from the top part to the end. This is literally the end. And that is Kampung Skambut Dalam. Alright, and this is one of the developments. And there will be a road built by the developer that connects this part over here toward that area. And just going down straight there, right,
looking from the Google map, you will know it connects you to Solaris. So Solaris is actually a very high commercial area. So this is a signboard. Yeah, they say, you know, they will be building, they will be bearing all the costs. So it's actually a very smart move by the developer to do this, because it adds up a lot of connectivity for Jalan Kiara, aside from just going to Skambut or making a big turn to KL Metropolis. Now you can just use this road that connects you directly to Solaris, and then it leads you to Tamas and everything, Publica and whatsoever. So those are things that normally bigger developers do. They open up roads to help out the accessibility for residents of their own, as well as, of course, public as well. So I think it actually adds a lot of value, because suddenly then this whole stretch of properties may increase in value, because it leads you to Solaris, it leads you to Publica. So these two areas are actually one of the popular ones in surrounding Mont Kiara as well. Okay, it's been a long walk now, so let's head on to the other side, the last part, and we'll check out the main part of Mont Kiara. Let's go. Oh yeah, actually a lot of people are asking why Mont Kiara is so high dense, right? Because we have to understand that Mont Kiara is, even though it's, I would say, monopolized a little bit by a few of the major developers, but it's still pocket land development, which means it's not a township. It's the land is actually sold individually to developer A, developer B, developer C. So people will be saying like, oh, developer A will say, hey, buy mine. Then developer B will then compete with you. Oh no, mine is better, his is lousier, Things like this will happen. So it's very just closely packed like a sardine, especially in the Jalan Kiara 3, Jalan Kiara 5 as well. It's not very, the gap between condos and condos is not very big as well. So this is the fact about pocket land development. Mont Kiara, it's one of the most classic examples of pocket land development. Well, but then despite it being a pocket development area, multiple condos here and there popping up, all different developers, right? But people are still swarming in, and definitely there's a reason. Aside from the high density, it's one of the cons, but others like, eateries, commercial elements, so far, I think it's one of the best in KL. So we'll see how it goes for the other part. The amount of heavy duty vehicles, right, is no joke. That's one thing I noticed. Second thing is the amount of condominium using Kiara, this word, right? I think literally all of them are using Kiara. I can't even remember the name. Like you have one Kiara 9, then in front of me you want Cheria, An Kiara, then you have Aston Kiara. Literally most of them are using Kiara way. So it's so messy, how to remember. Okay, right now we are in 163 Retail Park. As you can see, there are a lot of eateries, a lot of nice eateries here, which is expensive, but it's definitely nice. And then now we are outside at Jalan Kiara. So just look at the normal, usual jam. It's, I think, near to lunchtime now. Right? So Jalan Kiara is like one of the most iconic jalan in Mont Kiara, because it's actually very near to Sri Hartamas, which is on the other side. Sri Hartamas is actually right there. And then this is one of the older buildings one of the few older buildings. You can see the design, the balcony is still using those kind of, how to say, not the flat one, it's more like a semi-circle kind of style. So it's definitely an older style of developments over here. So then over there will be Sri Hartamas, as mentioned. Alright, it's actually connected with Penchala Link, Kerinci and whatsoever. A lot of highways are actually just going by this area. intersecting here and there. So that's why it's one of the most convenient location here. And then there's one Mont Kiara. It's also another shopping mall where upstairs will be condominium as well. And then going down that road, that direction will be going to Solaris. So then over here we can see that it's really one of the most high dense location. Like all of the condos are actually just building here first initially, but despite it being so high dense, right, the designated walkway is actually still one of the best in all of the jalan, one of the best. Because it's one of the older locations, but it's still walkable, very walkable. Compared to Jalan Kiara 3 earlier, this is much more walkable. And you can see a lot of different people, different nationality, a lot of people who are just after work and having their lunch time over here. Oh, and this is one of the, I like this condo a lot. It's called Aquaris. One of the nicer ones in terms of facade, in my opinion. Very special, right? And you can have a look. Even the signboard has Japanese words over there. Okay, now looking at the developments here, right, definitely we can see that it's one of the oldest among Mont Kiara compared to Jalan Kiara 8, where you can see it's very new. Even you have landed properties over there. But then here it's mostly apartments, older apartments. So as usual, it's still very well maintained. So in my opinion, right, actually Mont Kiara in general, it's a very strong, it's a location where it has a strong community, that's one thing. Second thing, it's they really have the mindset of people first, then only cars. At least looking at the pedestrian walkway. And then for greenery side over here, despite it being such concrete jungle, you still have some trees. They try their best to fit in some trees, like you can see over here. Trees, those foliages over there, so people can walk properly. And then this is Aquaris. Yeah, so just now we were over there. And just for your info, right, this area is filled with, especially this Jalan Kiara, has multiple law firms. A lot of law firms are here because first thing, Mahkamah is just right around the corner in Duta Mas Publica area. So yeah, there are a lot of law firms, there are a lot of ID firms, and eateries as well is in abundance. Whatever cuisine you want, right, international cuisine, you have it here. You have a nice Korean food, Japanese food, everything is just over here. So this is inside 163. It's I would say a rather typical mall, retail mall, right? The things are quite standard. It's just that upstairs the food choices are then very different lah. And right, it feels a bit strange where when I walk past certain food stalls, the language that they are speaking, right, mostly in Korean, in Japanese, in Chinese of course as well, in English, it's in French as well. It's very diverse. It's a very diverse location to begin with. And now I'm starting to understand why people like Mont Kiara so much. Okay, so I think that's all for walking around Jalan Kiara. So it's really something very diverse. It's a short one, but it's very diverse in a sense that there are a lot of commercial elements compared to Jalan Kiara 3, Jalan Kiara 5, Jalan Kiara 8, right? This is like so bustling. And because of the hot weather, I can't really walk outside for too long. But then I believe the main things that we can see, right, the foliages of the greeneries, the trees and everything, and the shop lots just beside of the road, the eateries and everything, right? It's just so well maintained. It's very, I'm not too sure if it's the language they use Japanese, they use Korean word, right? It makes me feel like I'm not in Malaysia, but then I know I'm in Malaysia, and the overall vibes of the community there is very different. Of course, some may like, some may not. Personally, I prefer a more localized one, but once in a while, if you were to drop by Mont Kiara, it's actually one of the very, it makes you feel that you are traveling a little bit lah. Okay, so now let's look at the 5 main points that normally I look at in an area, right? So the first thing, let's talk about greenery first. Okay, for greenery, right, in this part of Mont Kiara, it's definitely, I would say, a no-brainer, right? Of course, in Jalan Kiara 8, you have the nature one, you have, the Hutan Simpanan Kiara over there, where people can hike over there as well. So that is of course the best one. But then they even try their best to put at Jalan Kiara side. They try their best to put some of the foliages. They plant trees. They plant some decorative trees, some plants and everything along the walkway, the pathway. So it emphasizes a lot on greeneries despite being such so high density. But then for Jalan Kiara tree side, then I would say the later part or the middle to the end part of Jalan Kiara tree is not fully developed, so I can't comment much on that. But if on the current state, it's definitely not much greeneries there lah. So I think greenery part in Mont Kiara overall it's okay. So I think overall greenery part in Mont Kiara it's definitely okay. And then let's look at shopping mall element or commercial. Alright, shopping mall element 163. Of course, you don't expect any mega mall, alright. But then you have actually 163 retail park. You have Plaza Mont Kiara. You have One Mont Kiara. All of these locations, right, caters I think perfectly fine for all residents over here, or even people from who are not staying here. They want to come over and eat. It's definitely okay as well. So if you want to like buy, I don't know, buy things like in Mid Valley or in One Utama in Pavilion, then it's different. You can't find it here. But if you are aiming for just a neighborhood mall, atas one neighborhood mall, then it's definitely okay as well. And commercial elements, I think we don't have to say much. Eateries is in abundance over here. Even grocery stores as well, in abundance. Alright, then let's talk about the third thing, which is office. Okay, office, we didn't really get to see any office in Mont Kiara, right? We didn't get to see because it's office ma. But then I know that in Mont Kiara there are a lot of law firms. There are a lot of companies here that are just trying to, because it's actually very near KLCC as well, and it's actually very near the Mahkamah, and it's connected by multiple highways. You have multiple highways. You have Kerinci, you have Penchala Link, then you have Jalan Kuching that connects you to KLCC. Yeah, so everything is actually quite well connected. You have Duke Highway as well. So yeah, I think that's one thing that is office is definitely there. And at the same time, I already said about the highways, which is the connectivity. It's also wonderful over here. Just that the traffic congestion will be very packed. Because I went there in the morning, it's already quite jammed, and now it's lunchtime, it's also jammed. So I think for Mont Kiara, it's like a constant jam, a very vibrant location lah. So yeah, office checked, connectivity checked, just the traffic congestion a little bit teruk lah. The last point, which is the pedestrian friendliness. Okay, so for pedestrian friendliness, right, I think I mentioned it the most in this video, because Mont Kiara, it's known for expats to come over. Alright, a lot of expats are just so used to walking, so used to not traveling by car, by scooter. Even by scooter, they are quite used to. So they emphasize a lot on the pathway. So that's why I'm very curious to look at how well designed the pathway is. And to my surprise, I never thought that Jalan Kiara 8, you know, the landed site, it's so well planned. That's one thing, because it's new. And for Jalan Kiara, because it's very old, I never thought as well it will be there, and it's so wide. It's just that Jalan Kiara 3, that one is a bit concerning for me, because I believe you have seen that, you know, for Jalan Kiara 3, I actually walked literally on the road, you know, along with the cars, just literally side by side with me, you know. So it's a rather dangerous one. But of course, people will say, no one walks ma. But then people do walk as well, especially expats and people like me. So yeah, I mean, people definitely will walk in that area. So it's a rather sad thing to see that it's not fully completed yet, but I assume that it will be there lah, definitely, with Mont Kiara's community and everything. I believe it will be there. So I think Mont Kiara, in conclusion, it's definitely a 5 out of 5 in general. So yeah, I think Mont Kiara is a very good place. And the reason why I am doing such a long video on this is because a lot of people requested this. Second thing is, Mont Kiara for me, it's a very complicated place to understand, because there are so many jalans, there are so many road connecting here and there, and even some of them I didn't cover, like Solaris part I haven't covered yet, because I think it's a rather similar one, you know, commercial elements and everything. But likewise, it's still part of Mont Kiara. So I hope that this video really let for those who don't know Mont Kiara, right, you can really understand how Mont Kiara is, how well designed it is, and of course its pros and cons, and how well connected it is as well. So I hope it makes you understand more about this location, and it's a very it's one of the most difficult walk ever. So do like, share and subscribe if you'd like to see more of a similar series. My name is Dylan, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.